1 King chapter 13. Unexpectedly, a man of God came from Judah to Bethel with the word of Adonai while Jeroboam was standing by the altar to burn incense. He cried out against the altar with the word of Adonai and said, O altar, altar, thus says Adonai, behold, a son shall be born to the house of David, Yoshia by name, and upon you will he sacrifice the priests of the high places who burn incense on you, and human bones will be burned upon you. The same day he gave a sign, saying, This is the sign that Adonai has spoken. The altar is about to be split apart, and the fat ashes on it will be poured out. Now when the king heard the word of the man of God, which he proclaimed against the altar in Bethel, Jeroboam stretched out his hand from the altar, saying, Seize him. But the hand which he stretched out against him withered. He could not even draw it back to himself. The altar also was split apart, and the fat ashes poured out from the altar, just as was the sign that the man of God gave with the word of Adonai. So the king responded by saying to the man of God, Please seek the face of Adonai your God, and pray for me so my hand may be restored to me. So the man of God sought the face of Adonai, and the king's hand was restored to him, becoming as it was before. Then the king said to the man of God, Come home with me and have something to eat, and then I will give you a reward. But the man of God said to the king, Even if you give me half of your house, I will not go with you, nor will I eat bread or drink water in this place. For so I was charged by word of Adonai, saying, You are to eat no bread, nor drink water, nor return by the way by which you came. So he took another road and did not return by the way he had come to Bethel. Now one old prophet was living in Bethel. His sons came and told him all the deeds that the man of God had done that day in Bethel, and all the words that he had spoken to the king they related to their father. Then their father asked them, Which way did he go? For his sons had seen which way the man of God that came from Judah went. Then he said to his sons, Saddle the donkey for me. So they saddled the donkey for him, and he rode away on it. Then he went after the man of God and found him sitting under an oak tree. He said to him, Are you the man of God who came from Judah? I am, he said. Come home with me, he said to him, and eat bread. But he said, I cannot return with you, nor go with you, nor will I eat bread or drink water with you in this place. For it was said to me by the word of Adonai, You shall eat no bread nor drink water there, nor should you return back by the way by which you came. So he said to him, I also am a prophet like you. An angel spoke to me with the word of Adonai, saying, Bring him back with you to your house, that he may eat bread and drink water. He lied to him. So he went back with him and ate bread in his house and drank water. Now while they were sitting at the table, the word of Adonai came to the prophet who had brought him back, and he cried to the man of God that came from Judah, saying, Thus says Adonai, because you rebelled against the word of Adonai and did not keep the commandment which Adonai your God commanded you, but turned back, ate bread and drank water in the place of which he said to you, Eat no bread and drink no water, your carcass will not enter the tomb of your fathers. So after he had eaten bread and after he had drunk, he saddled the donkey for him, for the prophet he had brought back. But when he was gone, a lion met him along the way and killed him. So his carcass was thrown on the road with both the donkey and the lion standing beside the carcass. Then men passed by and saw the carcass thrown on the road with the lion standing by the carcass. So they came and told it in the town where the old prophet lived. Now when the prophet who had brought him back from the road heard it, he said, It is the man of God who defied the word of Adonai. Therefore Adonai gave him to the lion, which mauled him and killed him, according to the word of Adonai spoke to him. Then he spoke to his sons, saying, Saddle the donkey for me. So they saddled it. Then he went and found his carcass lying on the road, with the donkey and the lion standing by the carcass. The lion had not eaten the carcass nor mauled the donkey. Then the prophet picked up the carcass of the man of God. He laid it on the donkey and brought it back to the town of the old prophet to mourn and to bury him. He laid his carcass in his own tomb, and they mourned over him, saying, "Oh, oi, my brother." After burying him, he said to his sons, "When I die, bury me in the tomb where the man of God is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones." For the message he declared by the word of Adonai against the altar in Bethel and against all the shrines of the high places which are in the towns of Samaria will surely come to pass. Even after this, Jeroboam did not turn back from his evil way, but once again he appointed priests for the high places from among all ranks of the people. Whoever wanted to be a priest, he consecrated him for the high places. So this matter became sin against the house of Jeroboam in the end, wiping it out and destroying it from the face of the earth. Chapter 14. At that time, Abijah, Jeroboam's son, fell sick. Jeroboam said to his wife, "Please go disguise yourself so they won't recognize you as Jeroboam's wife, and go to Shiloh. Look, the prophet Ahijah, who told me that I would be king over these people, is there. Take with you 10 loaves, biscuits, and a jar of honey, and go to him. He will tell you what will happen to the boy." Jeroboam's wife did so. She got up and went to Shiloh and came to the house of Abijah. Now Abijah could not see, for his eyes were dim because of his age. Adonai had said to Ahijah, "Look, Jeroboam's wife is coming to ask you about her son, for he is sick. You are to say such and such to her, for she will be in disguise." As soon as Abijah heard the sound of her feet as she came through the door, he said, "Come in, wife of Jeroboam. Why this disguise? But I have been sent to you with a difficult message. Go tell Jeroboam, thus says Adonai, God of Israel, I raised you up from among the people and made you leader over my people Israel. I tore the kingdom away from the house of David and gave it to you. Yet you have not been like my servant David, who kept my commandments and followed me with all his heart, doing only what was right in his own eyes. Instead, you have done more evil than all who were before you, and have gone and made yourself other gods, molten images to vex me, and have cast me behind your back. Therefore, I am about to bring evil on the house of Jeroboam. I will cut off to Jeroboam even one man, bond and free, in Israel. I will burn up the house of Jeroboam as one burns the dung until it is all gone. Anyone who belongs to Jeroboam and dies in the city, the dogs will eat, and anyone who dies in the field, the birds of the sky will eat. But Adonai has spoken it. As for you, arise and go to your house. As soon as you set foot in the town, the boy will die. All Israel will lament over him and bury him, for it is only him of Jeroboam's house who will be buried, because in him alone of all Jeroboam's house something good was found toward Adonai, the God of Israel. Moreover, Adonai will raise up for himself a king over Israel who will cut off the house of Jeroboam that day. So now what else? Adonai will strike Israel until it sways like a reed in the water. He will uproot Israel from this good land that he gave to their fathers, and will scatter them beyond the river, because they have made their Asherah poles, provoking Adonai. So he will give up Israel because of the sins of Jeroboam which he committed and caused Israel to commit. Then Jeroboam's wife got up, left, and went to Tirzah. As soon as she stepped over the threshold of the house, the child died. They buried him and all Israel lamented over him, just as was the word of Adonai that he spoke through his servant Ahijah the prophet. As for the rest of the deeds of Jeroboam, how he made a war and how he reigned, behold, they are written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. The days that Jeroboam reigned were 22 years, and then he slept with his fathers. His son Nadab reigned in his place. Meanwhile, Rehoboam, son of Solomon, reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he became king, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city where Adonai had chosen out chosen out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name. His mother's name was Naamah the Ammonitess. Judah did what was evil in Adonai's eyes. They provoked him to jealousy with more than all that their forefathers had done with the sins that they committed. They also built for themselves high places, sacred pillars, and Asherah poles on every high hill and under every leafy tree. And there were also male cult prostitutes in the land. They did the same abominations as those of the nations that Adonai had driven out before the children of Israel. Now it came to pass in the 5th year of King Rehoboam, King Shishak of Egypt marched against Jerusalem. He took away the treasures of the house of Adonai and the treasures of the royal place. He took away everything, even taking all the golden shields that Solomon had made. So King Rehoboam made in their place bronze shields and committed them to the hands of the captains of the guard, watching over the doorway of the royal palace. Whenever the king went to the house of Adonai, the guard would carry them and bring them back into the guard room. Now the rest of the deeds of Rehoboam and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of King of Judah? There was a war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam continually. Then Rehoboam slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. His mother's name was Naamah the Ammonite. Then his son Abijam became king in his place. Chapter 15. Now in the 18th year of King Jeroboam, son of Nebat, Abijam became king over Judah. He reigned 3 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom. He walked in all the sins of his father which he had done before him, and his heart was not wholly devoted to Adonai his God, like the heart of his father David. Nevertheless, for David's sake, Adonai his God gave him a lamp in Jerusalem, raising up his son after him, establishing Jerusalem. For David did what was right in Adonai's eyes, and did not turn aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life, except in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. As there had been war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life, so there was war between Abijam and Jeroboam. The rest of the deeds of Abijam and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? Then Abijam slept with his fathers, so they buried him in the city of David, and his son Asa became king in his place. In the 20th year of King Jeroboam of Israel, Asa began to reign over Judah. He reigned 41 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom. Now Asa did what was right in Adonai's eyes, like his father David. He also expelled the male prostitutes from the land and removed all the idols that his fathers had made. Also he deposed his mother Maacah from being queen mother, because she had made an abominable image as an Asherah pole. So Asa cut down her image and burned it in the Kidron valley. But they did not take away the high places. Nevertheless, Asa's heart was wholly devoted to Adonai all his days. He brought into the house of Adonai the consecrated things of his father, as well as his own consecrated things of silver, gold, and utensils. Now there was a war between Asa and King Baasa of Israel all their days. King Baasa of Israel marched against Judah, and he built up Ramah to prevent anyone from going out or coming in to King Asa of Judah. Then Asa took all the silver and the gold that were left in the treasuries of Adonai's house and the treasuries of the royal palace, and he delivered them into the hand of his officials. King Asa sent them to Ben-Hadad, son of Tabrimon, son of Hezion, king of Aram, who resided in Damascus, saying, "Let there be a treaty between me and you, as it was between my father and your father. I have just sent you a present of silver and gold. Go, break your treaty with King Baasa of Israel, so that he may withdraw from me." So Ben-Hadad listened to King Asa and sent the commanders of his armies against the cities of Israel, conquering Iyon, Dan, Abelbeth, Makkah, and Og Shineroth, as well as all the land of Naphtali. When Baasa heard it, he stopped fortifying Ramah and remained in Tirzah. Then King Asa made a proclamation to all Judah, none was exempted, and they carried away the stones of Ramah and its timber which Baasa had built. Then King Asa built Geba of Benjamin and Mizpah with them. Now the rest of all the deeds of Asa, all his might and all he did, and the cities that he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? But in his old age he was diseased in his feet, and Asa slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of his father David, and his son Jehoshaphat became king his place. Nadab son of Jeroboam began to reign over Israel in the 2nd year of King Asa of Judah, and he reigned over Israel 2 years. He also did what was evil in Adonai's eyes, walking in the way of his father and his sins that he caused Israel to commit. Then Baasa son of Ahiah of the house of Issachar conspired against him, and Baasa struck him down at Gibbethon, which belonged to the Philistines, while Nadab and all Israel were besieging Gibbethon. So Baasa slew him in the 3rd year of King Asa of Judah, and became king in his place. As soon as he became king, he struck down all the household of Jeroboam. He did not spare Jeroboam anything with breath until he had destroyed him, just as was the word of Adonai that he spoke by the hand of his servant Ahiah the Shilonite, because of the sins of Jeroboam had committed and caused Israel to commit, by which he utterly provoked Adonai, God of Israel. Now the rest of the deeds of Nadab and all he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? So there was war between Asa and King Baasa of Israel all their days. In the 3rd year of King Asa of Judah, Baasa son of Ahiah began to reign over all Israel in Tirzah, reigning 24 years. He did what was evil in Adonai's eyes, and followed the way of Jeroboam and the sins that he had made Israel commit.